I say that they're going to struggle a little bit early, but by the end of the season, they're going to get it together because I think having those rookies sort of playing all of those snaps, having a new OC, a new DC, it's going to take some adjusting. And I believe because of that, they're going to lose. They're not going to have the same record they did last year. Let's transition to the Eagles. So the Eagles offseason, they were able to draft Jalen Carter, like I said, Nolan Smith, who you also liked as well. They were able to grab Eli Ricks, undrafted, out of Alabama corner. He's been playing pretty well in the preseason as well. And I forgot some other. They lost both their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So they replaced those guys, and they lost Miles Sanders, but they were able to pick up DeAndre Swift.
They lost
Hargraves as well, and also C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yes, they did.
I'm trying to think who else. That's about it. Everybody else has pretty much stayed intact.
Yeah.
And, there was a big concern about Darius Slay, but they were able to re-sign him. They also got James Bradbury. And, their secondary is pretty much intact besides C.J. And they got talent. They're young, though. Nakobe Dean's going to have to start. They lost Javon Hargrave, like you said, who went to the
49ers.
But because they drafted Jalen Carter, they're going to be good in the future. So I feel like the Eagles, I haven't heard any, negativity regarding them. I haven't heard any bad things about the Eagles so far.
I've heard a few things coming out of their camp, but apparently the dude that reported it, the Eagles fans be like, he's just a hater.
Yeah, he's
so
a hater.
I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt.
I haven't heard anything bad about Jalen Hurts in training camp. I've heard nothing but good things from Jalen Carter. I haven't heard anything from Nolan Smith. Eli Ricks.
I heard Nakobe Dean wasn't really doing too much.
That's not good. That's not good. They need him because he's probably going to be starting this year. So that's another concern.
Also they went and signed Miles Jack too.
Oh, Miles Jack. I forgot about that. Yeah, so they're bringing in Miles Jack as well. So that's the state of the Eagles. I say that they're going to struggle a little bit early, but by the end of the season, they're going to get it together because I think having those rookies sort of playing all of those snaps, having a new OC, a new DC, it's going to take some adjusting. And I believe because of that, they're going to lose. They're not going to have the same record they did last year. They're not going to start off the same way they did last year. And I believe that they'll go 12-5. And I believe that they're going to lose a game that the Cowboys win. And because of that, I think that they're not going to win the division. I think they'll be second in their division. But that doesn't mean that they won't go farther in the playoffs. That doesn't mean that they won't potentially go back to the Super Bowl. That just means they're not winning the division. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because, how them Eagles fans get, boy. You say anything about their team, they in your comments, mentions, and everything.
Yeah, so. But they're still going to have a really good season. 12-5 is still really good.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to take them some time to sort of adjust with all of the losses that they've sort of accustomed this offseason. So that's how I look at it. I still think Jalen Hurts is going to play well. But I do think they're going to start
that
off
offense,
a little muddy.
in my opinion, the offense is unquestionably still going to produce very well. They still have their core and all the talent at the receiving position, as well as Jalen Hurts, possibly even getting even better,
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive line is still intact, so,
Yeah, they have the running backs. They have Gainwell. They have Swift. They have that other running back.
They got Rashad Penny.
Oh, I forgot about him as well. They have Rashad Penny as well. So they have a nice quality running back group. They still have the receivers. I expect Devontae Smith to get better. A.J. Brown, he's still going to be really good. He's still going to be a top 10, 12 receiver in the
top
league.
10,
Yeah, for sure. So they're still going to get Dallas Goedert. He's going to be healthy. He was sort of banged up in the middle of the year, but I expect him to be healthy the entire year. So yeah, I think the Eagles will be fine. It's about
the defensive side of the ball is what I'm worried about.
That's the concerning factor of everything.
Not necessarily the trenches though. The trenches is going to be fantastic.
It's the back end.
Well,
actually,
linebackers,
the linebackers
and safeties.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's going to be the concern. Because that's what Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That's what he took advantage of. I mean, Brandon Graham, he's not as young as he once was. Is he still on the team?
Yeah, he's still on the team.
But he's old. They don't have no like real coverage sort of linebackers that I could think of that's really good.
Miles Jack is in.
He
was a free agent for a reason.
Yeah, he was a free agent for a reason. When he came to the league, that's what he was supposed to be known for, but he hasn't really sort of lived up to his potential. We'll have to see. Nolan Smith, he's sort of a pass rush sort of guy.
But he's fast enough to where he could drop back in coverage.
But he's known really for pass rushing, and obviously Jalen Carter, he's in the trenches. So we'll have to see about that, but I have them at 12-5. That's how I look at it.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I don't think there's any more questions when it regarding the Eagles. That's pretty much all I have. We'll just have to wait and see about if they're Super Bowl potential. All right, so let's go to...
Oh, before we transition, a little fact. For the people at home, I want you to Google the last time an NFC team went to the Super Bowl, lost, and then went back the next year. I just want y'all to Google it. How long ago do you think it is?
Went to a Super Bowl, lost, and went back the next year. I have to think about that one because that has to probably be back in the 80s. I'm thinking maybe the 80s. Wow. Maybe it could be the 70s. That may have been a long time ago. Maybe in the 80s, maybe in the 70s. I don't think there was an NFC team in the 90s that was able to do that. I don't think there was one NFC team in the 90s that was able to do that.
The only teams to lose a Super Bowl and bounce back and win it the next season are the 1970 Cowboys,
obviously,
and the 2017 Patriots.
Oh, I forgot. But that's AFC though.
Yeah, that's AFC.
So
but
Cowboys,
those are just the two teams in history.
That's why I was like, there's no way. I had to be a long time ago because I don't remember an NFC team losing in the Super Bowl and coming back the next year in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, even the 80s. I had to think about was it the Washington franchise? I was like, nah, probably not. It had to be 70s. So yeah, 70s makes sense. The Cowboys in 70s makes sense. All right, well that's a great little trivia question.